Anytime you're ready.
Ladies and gentlemen, I want to welcome you tonight to the May 11th, 2021 school board meeting. We made it to May. Can I just say that looking out and seeing a full boardroom for the first time in over a year literally makes me want to start crying. I'm just, for all of the teachers and administrators in here, I want to tell you how thankful and grateful I am for all that you've done these last 15 months. We are one of only 14 or 15 states that stayed in school, and we went to school every day, I think, except for 2, and we went to school online. That's a miracle. If you would have asked me this time last year if this was possible, I would have said there's no way. But it was possible because of you. It was possible because you showed up, you figured out how, in the craziness of measuring desk and having everything ready, to make sure that our students were served at the highest possible. And I'm just grateful and thankful for each one of you. Board, Stacy, if you will come up and do the Pledge of Allegiance, please.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Welcome. We're
Thank you.
excited to have you here tonight.
I'm excited
and
to
I'm
be here.
sorry I got a little choked up there thinking about the fact that we've been here a year, but we're excited to have you, and we can't wait to hear a little bit about you.
Thank you. Yeah, I'm a senior at the Don Tyson School of Innovation. I'm graduating with I was part of the early college experience program where I get to graduate with an associate's degree at the same time as graduating high school. I've been part of multiple community projects, and also been in activities like DECA and debate, and it's just an honor to be here with you guys.
So I'm getting through. What has been your favorite part about being at Don Tyson?
My favorite part is probably the flexibility that you get, and you can really feel that your voice is heard at the School of Innovation. I had so much choice. There were so many opportunities that I was able to participate in so many of them. I was able to get so much help from everybody. I was able to do whatever I wanted to do in my education, and that's really something that means a lot to me, and it means a lot to students.
Board, I know that we were all in awe of your resume and your plans. Does anyone have any questions, or?
I'd like to hear about your NASA Aware National Champions. What did you create there?
We had to make a radiation shielding headpiece, and this was a really big challenge for us because we were a small team, and we had never competed in something like this before. We had to make CAD designs, we had to go through multiple prototypes. A big portion of the project was being able to present everything, not only come up with the designs, but be able to show the videos and come up with the prototype. And then the pandemic came around like midway through the project, so we had to be able to adapt and still meet up with our team and still be able to compete in that. And then my team also didn't have a lot of experience doing this kind of presenting where you create a video, so I also had to help with that. You know, we had to source cameras, and so it was really an achievement that I'm very proud of.
Good job.
Okay.
Plans after graduation, it says going to the U of A as a fellowship scholar.
Yes. So I was lucky enough to receive the fellowship scholarship. And, you know, obviously I value the money, but the entire program is something that I'm very excited about. All the counseling, the advising, all the help that I'm going to be receiving. I really want to take advantage of the opportunity, and I'm very happy that I was able to receive that.
That's awesome.
Thank you.
So, reading this, like Michelle said, we are all just wow.
Thank you.
Because I don't know if anyone in the audience can see, this is like 2 complete full pages of all the things that she has done. And this resume is better than people who are twice your age.
Thank you. Thank
So,
you.
I mean, it's crazy what experience you've had. But as a parent whose 3rd child just graduated from college, I want to tell you, it gave me a little anxiety when you said you want to continue studying in college for the rest of your career.
Yeah.
So as a mom, I'm saying, make sure you get paid for the rest along the way.
Yeah, I say that honestly. Like, I see myself studying for the rest of my life. I love to learn and I love to study. Yeah, and it's part of my life now. And so I just see myself like continuing that and building a career off of it. And I think being in Springdale has played such a crucial role. Like, I say that honestly because I lived in Missouri for a little bit. And I can see the difference. I can feel the difference. Being in Springdale is a different experience. It's so community-based, and that's something that I love, and I'm happy that I was able to grow up here.
Well, we are very happy that you are a part of our
Thank you.
community.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
Congratulations.
Good job.
Board, you've had the agenda for a few days. Are there any additions? Dr. Cleveland?
Make a motion to approve the agenda as presented.
There's a motion by Mr. Hutchinson, a second by Mrs. Creek to approve the agenda as presented. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. And then we've also had the consent agenda. Any changes or anything that needs to be pulled?
Motion to approve the consent agenda.
Second.
A motion by Mr. Hutchinson, a second by Mr. Bell to approve the consent agenda as presented. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. Dr. Cleveland?
I want to pull my mask just a little bit so you'll be able to hear me when I speak. Tonight is one of those times that comes every year where we recognize our retirees. Tonight is a night of sadness, happiness all at the same time. You'll recognize names, and they're a who's who of Springdale, America, because not only are they great leaders in our building, they're great leaders in our community. The beautiful part about our retirees is they're not leaving our community, so they'll still remain leaders, and they'll forever be in our hearts and part of our history. I want to start tonight with teachers in our district, certified staff, Ms. Tracy Absher. She's worked at Helen Tyson. All of her years are in Springdale, 25 years. It seems like she could work a little longer. That'd be great. Thank you, Ms. Tracy. Next, we have Cheryl Bowen. She's worked at Hellstrom for 12 years, a total of 25 years. Ms. Bowen. Next, we have Ms. Elizabeth Brady, Park Elementary School, total of 32 years, 19 in our district. George Junior High. Next, we have Ms. Sheila Cash, Library Media Specialist, 28 and a half years in Springdale, Arkansas. Tyson School of Innovation, working a history of 39 years, 8 in our district, Ms. Susan Colvin. Next, we have a husband and wife pair. I don't know whether to call them up individually or so we'll just do it, we'll do it individually. The most important of the two, Miss Pat Cromit. How about that? Love the Cromit. She's worked for 30 years, 7 in our district at HAR-BER. Next, we have Mr. Joe Cromit, also 28 years total, 7 at HAR-BER. Joe, I did get that right, didn't I? She's the most important. Yes, sir. I thought you would agree with that. From Hellstern, working 28 years, 16 in the district, Miss Joanna Eaton.
I know we're not supposed to.
From Sonora Elementary School with 29 years, 4 years in Sonora, Miss Carol Fry. From Tyson Elementary School with 40 years, Miss Valerie Hart. Just 40. From Springdale High School with 36 years total experience, 16 Springdale High, Miss Lacey Henson. Lacey Henson, excuse me. Also from Springdale High School, 37 years, 3 in the district, Mr. Roger Henson. This gentleman we tried to keep from retiring multiple times, Mr. Stowe Hoffius, HAR-BER High School. I think Stowe is here. We know where to find you, Stowe. From Don Tyson with 16 years experience, 8 in the district, Miss Betsy Holderfield. From HAR-BER High School with 21 years experience, 21 in the district, Miss Marcia Jordan. From Southwest Junior High, 42 years in the district, 42 years experience overall, Coach Bruce Matthews.
Great job. This guy was my coach 38 years ago. He's come full circle.
Ms. Creek, I'm not sure he's going to receive the Harps card now.
I know, he's gonna miss out.
This year, so.
Oh, that's true, we didn't have that.
He's been the first one on the list for quite a while.
That's right, that's right. From Hellstern Middle School, 28 years experience, 28 in the district, Lana Montgomery. gentleman with a few years' experience, 42 years in total, 37 in the district, Mr. Thomas Pittman. From Springdale High School, 38 years experience, 16 in the district. Excuse me, Marlis Scoval. From Westwood Elementary School, 33 years in the district. 33 years experience, 15 in the district. Carrie Taylor. Springdale High School, another icon in the district, 32 years experience, 28 here, Miss Carol Turley.
Way to go.
Thank you, Ms. Turley. Board, we had 24 that were here tonight, the 15 that can't be. I'd like to announce their names, if that's okay, and just hold our applause till the end. From Don Tyson School of Innovation, 31 years, Missy Allgood. HAR-BER High School, 37 years, 17 in the district, Miss Angie Anderson. From Lakeside Junior High, Miss Jeanette Arnhart, 39 years, 5 in the district. Miss Lisa Clough at George Elementary School, counselor, 33 years in the district. Miss Julie Ezel, whom I spoke to earlier, 28 years from Young Elementary School. Miss Teresa Hall, Sonora Middle School, she's a teacher, been 19 years experience, 4 in the district. From Kelly Middle School, Jacqueline Hinkson, 25 years, 13 in the district. From Springdale High School, 32 years experience, Miss Linda Horton. Smith Elementary School, 48 years total, 35 in the district, Susan Jones. Amazing. From HAR-BER High School, 34 years experience, Miss Leslie Mack. From Westwood, counselor, 29 years in the experience, 14 in the district, Miss Sandy Milner. From Lakeside Junior High, another counselor, 32 years in the district, Miss Sherry Neal. From Springdale High, 24 and a half years experience, 21, Springdale High, Miss Tracy Reed. From Jones Tyson, 16 years in the district, Miss Linda Skelton. From Southwest Junior High, Miss Linda Stamper, 36 years experience. I'd like to give them a round of applause. You're right, Ms. Cook. To be a teacher is a gift, and it's also something that stays with you forever. We still remember all the staff that impacted our lives, and I know the people that are on this list impacted our children's lives. We do have a few others that are retiring. They're administrators. First administrator that I'd like to recognize tonight, come to the podium, is Stephanie Anderson from Helen Tyson Middle School. I'd love for you to address the board if you like.
Wow. I thought I was walking up and getting a box. Yeah. Well, thank you for allowing me to serve in Springdale. I started elementary school in Springdale at Westwood and always knew I loved Springdale. And then we moved away for a little bit. But even though I worked in Gravette, which I loved, and Rogers, which I loved, I always wanted to be in Springdale. So everybody says, "Are you super excited?" Well, I'm trying to get there because it's very bittersweet to feel like in a way you're ending your career that you're extremely passionate about. And it's really an honor to be here and with all of you. Stop. Oh. I really just thought I was getting a box. So it really is just the names that were called in the years of service. It's incredible. And there's nothing like being an educator. Thank you. And it has a green ribbon. Thank you. There's just nothing like it. And the impact that we have, even today, just with things that happened at school. I just, I'm going to miss it. So, but I'm not leaving the community, as we talked about earlier. And Dr. Cleveland has said, if you just don't like this and you can't do it, we might let you come back. So I'm going to hold him to that. And who knows? We'll see how it goes. But anyway, thank you very, very much from the bottom of my heart for allowing me to be part of this amazing district. Thank you.
Great job, Ms. Sanders. Next, we have Dr. Sherry Bales, who's a special ed supervisor. She's worked for 40 years in our district. She's also been principal at other buildings. Dr. Bales.
I'm very old. Most of the time, I feel very old. Not really. I did not know we were going to speak, and like Stephanie, I'm trying not to cry because Springdale's my life. Tara and Andy get tired of me saying, oh, I hired them. Oh, I was their principal. Oh, I was their assistant principal. Oh my gosh, even names tonight called. I'm just like, oh, this person, that person. My husband and I have talked about it's like it's going to take two brains now because when I leave, I'm going to go, oh, you remember that person there? But it has been wonderful. Thank you. I, like Stephanie, am not going anywhere. Clean up the house that has kind of just packed stuff away over and over the years, but we'll be here to serve the community, my church, and get a chance, hopefully, to go and visit my kiddos. Thank you all very much.
Great job, Dr. Bales. From Sonora Middle School, we have Dr. Martha Dotson, principal.
But you're going to make me cry, for sure. I just can't tell you what an honor it's been to be an administrator in Springdale School District. And I know you guys hear that all the time because you're from Springdale. But when this wasn't originally your home and you worked in other school districts, you recognize just how amazing this place is. I have never worked harder in my life than I have in the 6 years that I've been here. But I've also never been rewarded the same as I have been here. It's just a special place. I've, worked with just friends and administrators everywhere, and just no one works like the administrators do here. I'm just going to tell you, and the quality and the superintendency and the support that we have here is just outstanding. There's a lot of expectation, but there's a lot of reward, and we have the most amazing students. This isn't goodbye for me either. I plan on doing something else. I don't know what, and every now and then God says, do you trust me or what? Because this was a hard decision for me to make. But I'm just thrilled to have been able to work here.
I'm going to do that gasping thing where I'm losing oxygen. Anyway, thank you again.
Ms. Cook, I believe that concludes our retirees, and I don't want to make sure I didn't miss anybody. Good. I think that's it. Next
Do we
week.
have a total number of years by any chance?
I didn't, but I'll do that in just a minute.
A lot.
Just, it's
Usually Randy.
amazing. Every time we would hear how many, and we'd think about and we'd watch the faces of, oh yeah, I worked with him, or oh, I worked with her, or oh, I had him or her. Looking around, I know we've talked to as a board, those of us that graduated from Springdale, we had a few of you, and our children had a lot of you. And I just want to tell you, thank you for your years of service. I hope that you know the amazing things that you've done. I hope students come up to you all the time and tell you how thankful they are for you. I hope you see when you're out in Springdale the impact that you've had on our community. And if you don't right away, I feel certain you will as years to come, because you've planted a lot of seeds and helped a lot of people grow. And we are forever thankful, and a lot of you are leaving big shoes to fill. So thank you very much.
Ms. Cook, I'd like to introduce Ms. Tischer, our Special Force 9 Teacher of the Year.
Good evening. Hope you all are doing well tonight. I am so excited to be here to present the Building Teachers of the Year and also the Springdale Public Schools Teacher of the Year for 2021. I will say that Teacher Appreciation Week was May 3rd through the 7th, and there were celebrations and appreciations across the district. As you can imagine, appreciating teachers during this pandemic year was even more important and special than it has even been before. And so without further ado, I will start to introduce the secondary Buildings Teacher of the Year. If you'll recall, last year was Elementary Teacher of the Year. And so this year, the pool includes the 4 middle schools, 4 junior highs, and 4 high schools. For the Building Teachers of the Year, when I call your name, if you want to come up, you will receive your award from one of the board members, and you can shake hands and do a photo. And then I think it would be nice if we line up maybe 6 on each side of the podium, and that way maybe you could face the audience and everyone can see everybody's face. Okay, so first from Helen Tyson Middle School, we have Miss Jean Hill. Ms. Hill is currently serving as instructional facilitator at Helen Tyson Middle School. Highlights of her career include organizing multiple educational and community events, camps, and programs, serving on a Schools to Watch redesignation committee, presenting original professional development sessions to school faculty at multiple campuses and external organizations, and publishing and presenting original research in collaboration with the Northwest Arkansas National Writing Project in Washington, D.C. Congratulations. Next is Hellstern Middle School. We have Ms. Morgan Ritz. Ms. Ritz is currently serving as a special education teacher at Hellstern. Morgan is currently publishing a children's book titled Nala, the Hero Husky. The intent of the book is to raise awareness of anxiety and offer tips on how to cope with it. Morgan was previously published in a daily devotional created by John Brown University in 2015 titled Keeping the Faith. Congratulations. Next, from J.O. Kelly Middle School, we have Miss Courtney Goldberg. Ms. Goldberg has been at J.O. Kelly Middle School teaching 7th grade math for 8 years. She believes that building relationships with students fosters academic achievement. She teaches with social emotional growth in mind and leads with restorative justice practices. Congratulations, Ms. Goldberg. Next, from Sonora Middle School, we have Mr. Derek Ratchford. Mr. Ratchford has been teaching in the Springdale School District for 7 years, with 5 years as the East facilitator at Sonora Middle. He teaches East as a problem-based learning class that encourages students to use advanced technologies like 3D printers, GIS mapping, and virtual reality to inspire advanced technologies like 3D printers. To inspire change within community. His East program has won several awards, including the Founders Award for the best East program in the country twice. And he was recognized as a Grosvenor Teacher Fellow through National Geographic and Lindblad Expeditions, and he is the second fellow ever from the state of Arkansas. Congratulations, Mr. Ratchford. Next, Central Junior High, Mr. Thomas Pittman. When asked what makes Mr. Pittman such a great teacher, a former student of his said, "The way Mr. Pittman teaches is different than any other teachers in the best way possible. He is super fun and keeps you engaged in the learning. He also tries the hardest to get students to do their work. He is able to keep us all so engaged because he takes the time to really get to know each of us. It is because of the relationships he builds with us." Also, staff and teachers and parents and students and secretaries and administrators were asked about Mr. Pittman. His description gets to be a little different because he's retiring after many years of service tonight. Here are the words that people use to describe Mr. Pittman: role model, mentor, hardworking, caring, empathetic, determined, relentless, selfless, motivated, supportive, loves unconditionally, the GOAT, greatest of all time, for those of you who don't know, enthusiastic, selfless again, kind, and dedicated. Mr. Pittman, I know he was already announced as a retiree, but he was a band director, a teacher of civics, American history, economics, and social studies for 42 years, 37 of those at Central, and the most common word to describe Mr. Pittman was legendary. So congratulations, Mr. Pittman. George Junior High, we have Miss Casey Smith. Ms. Smith is the lead special education teacher at George Junior High. Casey is a member of the Learning Disabilities Association of Arkansas and current board member until 2023. She served as affiliate president from 2007 to 2019 and held the secretary's position in 2015 and 2020. She is the current chairperson of the Ralph G. Norman Scholarship Committee. In May 2020, she was invited by Learning Ally and Huntington College to present webinars covering the topic Effective Progress Monitoring During Remote Learning. Congratulations, Ms. Smith. Next, from Lakeside Junior High, we have Ms. Kristen Pennington. Devoted to a career in advancing agriculture, Ms. Pennington has taught for the past 8 years at Lakeside Junior High, where she established and continues to grow the agriculture program. Due to her belief in building relationships with students and providing access to learning, she was critical in developing a school-wide advisory program that allows teachers to focus on the social, emotional wellness, and academic guidance of a group of students over a 2-year period. Additionally, she advocated for the opening of her courses to the alternative learning students housed on campus to provide hands-on labs and expose them to career pathways. Thank you, Ms. Pennington. From Southwest Junior High, we have Mr. Omar Alonzo. Mr. Alonzo is currently in his first year as the Director of Bands at Southwest Junior High in Springdale and was previously the Associate Director of Bands for 8 years. Mr. Alonso grew up in the Springdale School District, where he went to school at Parson Hills Elementary, J.O. Kelly Middle School, Southwest Junior High, and graduated from Springdale High School in 2007. Along with team teaching 3 8th and 9th grade bands at Southwest, he also teaches beginner 7th grade classes at Helen Tyson, and he assists at HAR-BER High School. His bands at Southwest Junior High and at HAR-BER have received consistent superior ratings, sweepstakes awards, and also excellent ratings. Thank you, Mr. Alonso. From Archer Learning Center, we have Ms. Shelley Ashleman. Ms. Ashleman began her career in education as a middle school English teacher in rural California in 2009. Over the past decade, she has taught grades 6 through 12. Ms. Ashleman strives to create an environment where all students feel they belong and have meaningful work to do together. The importance of such a classroom culture is evident in her current role teaching English and journalism at Archer Learning Center. She previously served as director of an alternative certification teacher program focused on teacher shortage areas here in rural Arkansas. She has presented at conferences on topics of teacher pipeline, retention, new teacher support, and alternative environments, and she has also written and edited content for several platforms. She has created curriculum for the Literacy Design Collaborative, which was a project of the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation. So thank you, Ms. Ashleman. Don Tyson School of Innovation, Ms. Allison Dolan. Ms. Dolan is a social studies teacher, student council sponsor, and leadership team member at DTSOI. She began her teaching career in 2006 at Springdale High School. In her 3 years at DTSOI, during celebration months like Latinx History, Black History, and Women's History, she has created speaker series where students can connect with area leaders. This has been a great learning and networking opportunity for students as they can ask questions pertaining to career pathways, successful work techniques, and provided them with opportunities to connect, which have led to internships, employment, and apprenticeships. Thank you, Ms. Dolan. From HAR-BER High School, we have Ms. Natalie Davey. Ms. Davey is in her second year of teaching English at HAR-BER High School. She received the University of Arkansas Master of Arts in Teaching Student of the Year Award in 2019. She is currently working alongside a professor at JBU on creating a podcast for educators to help them think critically and creatively about teaching practices. Her passion for teaching, learning, and student success is evident in her innovative approaches to the classroom and her efficacy in improving student engagement. Thank you, Ms. Davey. Springdale High School, Mr. Scotty Person. Scotty began his career in education at Springdale High School in 2000, teaching global studies, American government, and serving as the assistant girls basketball coach. In 2012 and 2013, he co-created Podclass Omni, a class that analyzes social studies issues through a variety of podcasts. The class was approved by the Arkansas Department of Education in the summer of 2013, and it has been offered at SHS since its inception. Podclass Omni was featured in the February 24, 2016 podcast episode of Freakonomics. This episode was downloaded approximately 3 million times worldwide. This exposure led Mr. Person and his co-creator, Mr. Lynn Waldron, to be contacted by educators in 10 states and 4 different countries about the strategies used in his class, bringing great publicity to Springdale High School. Congratulations, Mr. Person. Okay, and now for the Springdale Schools Teacher of the Year. So words that were found pervasive throughout this person's application included community, collaboration, peer conferencing, partnerships, academic growth, feedback, the need to push our students, diversity, equity, inclusion, social emotional learning, and many others. And here are a few quotes from the person's application. My desire for students is to connect with the world they live in and make contributions in a way that teaches and enriches. Teachers are experts in our field, but we also need to be experts on how to connect students with the best of the best in the area of their interest. The ability for students to see the value of their learning and not just the grade they receive is priceless. We want to build a culture of learners who are focused on what they have learned, not just what grade they received. The ability for a teacher to assess a student based on growth instead of a one-time opportunity with a final grade makes the student and teacher a team in the learning experience. I am in education because I want to be a part of each student's team. I want to see them as adults and know that I did everything I could to help them succeed in life. Please join me in opening the box in congratulating Allison Dolan, Springdale Public Schools 2021 Teacher of the Year.
Thank you so much. One of the things I wrote about in my application is I left the district for 3 years as a mom. I felt like I needed to do that. And what I missed most about our district was the expectations for teachers, for administrative staff, for our superintendents, for our board, that every child should succeed and that is our responsibility. And I greatly missed the expectations that the district has for us as leaders. And I am so thankful to be in this district. I tell people all the time that teaching in Springdale schools is one of the greatest blessings of my life. And it very much is. Our students are just beyond, and y'all know that. And I am kind of shocked right now because the amazing, amazing teachers. Thank you so much.
If you all want to just go to the front steps, we're going to do some pictures.
Clean up.
I was gonna say, give everybody a time to.
Everybody a chance to leave.
Something. It's gorgeous. My favorite.
That's total years. Okay. Ms. Cook, I'd like to introduce Ms. Melissa Fink for a very special announcement tonight. Ms. Fink is around here. Yes, she is. There she is. She'll introduce Dr. Hernandez for me.
Yes, this person has been recognized earlier in our presentation, but I wanted to welcome to the podium Dr. Mike Hernandez. He is the director of AAEA, and he has a very special, executive director of AAEA, and he has a very special announcement to make tonight.
Thank you, members of the board. Thank you, Dr. Cleveland, for allowing us to crash your already celebration. I thought that was really positive. I'm sad everybody's still not in the room to hear all this, but I would like to introduce some folks, the team that we have with us. We have J.D. Keeling, principal of Dardanelle Middle School. He's also the president of our Arkansas Association of Middle Level Administrators. And Lynette Thrasher, she works with me over at AAEA. And then we also have Kyle Pack with us from Life Touch that came to take some pictures for us, so we're happy to have him here. We're here to present the Arkansas Association Middle Level Principal of the Year Award, and this is a very prestigious award, and I actually won't be presenting it. We asked our president, Mr. J.D. Keeling, to come present the award tonight, so I'm going to turn it over to him if that's okay. Thank you.
Board, thank you for allowing us to be here. And Dr. Cleveland, thank you as well. Special night. I've enjoyed all the presentations, the retirement, listened to all the years. I know it's a great district, and congratulations to all those. This award is given out each year to Arkansas middle-level principal who has succeeded in contributing to a positive and motivated environment for others and has been recognized as exhibiting an exceptional leadership skill and school community. Ms. Anderson, Ms. Stephanie Anderson, is in her 6th year and finishing her 6th year as principal in the Springdale School District. Stephanie is committed to servant leadership and works to empower teachers and to be innovative in order to provide optimal learning experiences for all students. This collaborative focus on meeting students' needs resulted in Helen Tyson Middle School being recognized as one of the highest growing schools in the state for overall growth and one of the top 20 middle schools in Arkansas based on overall ACT Aspire growth, as well as being highlighted as a school that is beating the odds for achieving high growth while serving a high percentage of low-income students. Stephanie's whole child approach towards ensuring a student's success has yielded a school climate where all students can feel safe, supported, and challenged to reach their highest potential. Stephanie is dedicated in the education of Arkansas students and very deserving of this award, as evident in the following comments. Ms. Anderson is a strong instructional leader that is very student-focused because of her population. Ms. Anderson has been able to lead her teachers and staff to personalize instruction, meet students where they are, and grow them to high levels. Ms. Anderson has created a school community where student achievement is at the heart of teacher conversations. He goes on to say, when I walk through her school, I observe students engaged in meaningful, rigorous learning activities. That would be from Dr. Jared Cleveland. Stephanie Anderson is a passionate leader who strives to learn and lead by example. She is one of the most innovative and collaborative professionals that I have had the fortune to work with. I value her perspective, character, and genuine commitment. Ms. Martha Dodson, Principal, Sonora Middle School. Last, a quote here. Stephanie's work advances the development of the whole child. She collaborates with school counselors, social workers, school-based service providers, and instructional facilitators to meet the needs of students through social and emotional and academic support opportunities. This leader is truly committed to holistic student success and relentlessly builds relationships with students, families, teachers, and community members to work towards an intended goal. Ms. Jean Hill, instructional facilitator, Helen Tyson Middle School. And I'll echo that last piece as far as building relationships. I've had the opportunity and the privilege to work with Ms. Stephanie for the last several years on the board at AAMLA. She'll be truly missed, and she is foregoing her presidency next year by retiring. On behalf of the AAEA and the AAMLA, I'd like to present Ms. Stephanie Anderson, the middle school principal.
I love a good microphone, but tonight it's a little tougher. When I saw JD and Lynette and Dr. Hernandez come in, I probably got a little emotional then. I don't think I realized you all were going to make this trip, and I appreciate that so much, coming from Little Rock and Dardanelle and all over the state. So it's been a rainy day, so thank you. And thank you for your leadership. It's been a joy to serve on AAMLA. I've been on the board, I don't know, 10, 12 years, I'm not sure exactly. I have served as president before, so it somebody else's time. So thank you. Again, it's an honor to serve at Helen Tyson Middle School. So I've been there for 15 years. It is the only place I have been in Springdale. I've served under Susan Buchanan as assistant principal, such leadership, and she guided me a lot. I have the honor of working with Chris and Brittany now, and Brittany's back there in the green because we wear green, and JD wears a green tie tonight, and JD doesn't like green, but he said in my honor he broke that out, and his wife was like, why are you wearing that tie? So thank you, JD, for that, because we bleed green a lot. So it's just an honor, and I work with the best people. Jean Marie Hill, there you are. Teacher of the Year, she has just been at Helen Tyson for 2 years, but helps me to look good and to really holistically work for those kids. And if there's anything I could say about Helen Tyson Middle School, it is our passion. If they've had to struggle somewhere else or something, we're like, just bring them to Helen Tyson, because that's what we do. Miss Henderson says, tell everybody all the time when they think about not coming to Helen Tyson Middle School, we do middle school well. And we do, because we love kids, and we do education well in Springdale. And we really try to achieve that at Helen Tyson. And I want to say that a couple of weeks ago, when Leslie and Rick came over to do, I think it was our Schools to Watch, we have been honored. I think, we were the first school, 2008, to get the Schools to Watch award, and have now been redesignated 4 times, which is quite an achievement. So Leslie, with her mask on, said, do you recognize me? And when somebody says that to you, you know to stop immediately and be like, okay, tell me, is it Rogers? Is it Springdale? You know, and so when she took her mask down, so she was in my pre-AP American History class at Elmwood. And it was just an honor to get to see her again and us to just talk about education, and that she remembered me and the things that she remembered about the class. And that's what it all is about, is teaching and learning, but working together to do that, no matter who we are. And I think we have to remember that so much, especially at middle school. They are just 11. They are just 12. They are just 13. They are not adults yet, and we've got to help get them there and do everything we can as passionately as we possibly can and provide as many opportunities. So it's an honor. I know there's many, many, many principals that deserve this as well. So I'm honored to be in that circle of friends. Thank you again. I appreciate all that you do for the state of Arkansas and for driving here. And to all my cohorts, I'm going to miss all of you. Thank you. It's been awesome to serve with all of my principal friends, Dr. Smith, Ms. Fink, Ms. Tischer, and Marshall. And I have a new name for you. I can't remember. Damone. And for Damone in the back. Damone and I go way back. I'm going to go ahead and tell it. So I've been an assistant principal, I don't know, a couple years. I'm feeling pretty good about it. You know, I'm on the safety committee. I'm all about safety. And in walks this cocky kind of guy that, you know, he's been the band director and he thinks he knows all this stuff. And he walks into my safety meeting and he goes, "What's your name again?" What? Who is this guy that's just walked into our safety meeting that we've been doing this so long? Just snaps those fingers and points, snaps and points. And so it was funny. So now I'm Shamika, he's Marshall, and that's just the way it is. And we really appreciate each other a lot. And we know exactly who each other is. So couldn't do this job without each other. So anyway, thank you. Mr. Patrick Scott is going to be principal at Helen Tyson Middle School. And Patrick and I served together as assistant principals for 2 years, and then I was principal for 1 year. So excited that Helen Tyson is going to have that person that loves being a Hornet and wants to come back home. And so I know Patrick will carry this on and also be principal of the year, I'm sure, one of these days. There you go. Thank you again. You know, I have a confession. And I know Dr. Cleveland told me he knows too.
Someone who didn't want to talk early.
I know, Michelle, it's in me. I thought it was going to be a struggle. It was better this time. So, Jeremy, as we're pulling up into the parking lot and getting out, Jeremy pulls up, and I'm thinking, oh, he's like, thank goodness. Like, retirement could not come soon enough for her because she causes me great pain and grief. I get calls that there are farm animals, not outside the building, but maybe in it. It rained. We had a small petting zoo, but everything was cleaned up. There might have been a camel. Okay, good night. Thank you.
Thank goodness. Have a safe trip back.
Thank you. Appreciate you.
One of these days, someone needs to write a book and compile all the stories from Springdale schools. Because there's some good ones.
Dr. Rollins told me only in Springdale here. Only in Springdale.
Yes, sir.
Okay, over the last several weeks, we've worked very diligently to try to find people in our district and across the state to take over for Ms. Stephanie Anderson. As you can tell from tonight, that's a fact to follow, sir. And along with Dr. Dotson at Sonora Middle. And we are so pleased, and of course you all know it already, but we'd like to formally introduce Mr. Patrick Scott and Ms. Chelsea Jennings as Helen Tyson Middle School and Sonora Middle School principals. If y'all would both come to the front, it'd be great. Give an
Well, it has been a big year. This has been one of the most challenging years of my career because of the pandemic, but this has also been one that has brought very exciting recognitions and now this opportunity to serve as a principal. Thank you to the school board and Dr. Cleveland and the central office leadership team for giving me this opportunity to serve at Sonora Middle School. I've been connected with Sonora Middle School since it opened. My husband taught there for 10 years. He's at SOI now, but that wouldn't have been good. But I also I taught at Springdale High School. I've been an assistant principal at Lakeside Junior High and Sonora feeds into those programs, so I'm very excited to still stay connected with that feeder program and continue to work as a team. And I know listening to the retiring administrators speak, I was getting very teary-eyed, not only because I know them all personally, and many of them have been mentors or have supported me, including Dr. Dotson, who's been extremely supportive in this transition, but also they're looking back in tears, and I'm looking forward at the potential. So thank you again, and hopefully this is the last time this year I'm back up here.
No, thank you so much, board, and thank you, Dr. Cleveland, for just continuing to give me opportunities in this district to serve our students and our families. It has been 20 years. This is my 20th year in the Springdale School District, and it has been a blessing every year. the whole theme for the night, it seems like it's just a professional family. And that's the way I look at it. This is our professional family. And so many of the people that have been up here, that have been up in front of you, I've had experiences with and I've learned from. And that's what we continue to do, is just learn from each other and support each other. And I've had great people all around me the whole ride, and it has been wonderful. Dr. Greep and his team have been super supportive through this transition. Miss Anderson, I know she took off, but she's celebrating a little bit. But she has had such an impact on me, being a middle level educator, and just recognizing how special that is and how important that is for those kids. And so I look to carry that on. I know there are big shoes to fill with her. She is great, and she has built a school with a reputation that is impeccable. The academic reputation is extremely high, and we look to maintain that and just continue to work hard for our families. So thank you very much.
Good job. Thank you both. We look forward to the great things that are going to happen in both of those schools. We have a few things that are happening on the district, at the district. We're going to be doing graduation this weekend, and we also are going to host state soccer. We'll be using both facilities, Springdale High and HAR-BER. So that'll happen, I believe they start on Thursday. It should culminate this Saturday. So it should be a good time. In fact, I think all the trophies came in today. Miss Smalling lugged them up to my office, so we may break those out and look at them. We also want to recognize that May the 12th is National School Nurses Day. Our nurses in our district, all 30 plus of them, have done amazing work. I know we use that word a lot, amazing, phenomenal, any other adjective that you could describe. But to go through COVID and to deal with the things that they've dealt with have just been remarkable. So we're grateful for our nursing staff. We hope they all stay this year. And we need just to express publicly our appreciation for them. And I know you do as well, Ms. Cook. You may have some remarks about nursing staff as well.
They've just gone above and beyond. I mean, especially from the district level. I mean, just how they've partnered with admin teams and how they've helped make sure that our point of contacts, tracing, everything. I think they had to pull out every skill that you can ever imagine to get through this year. Often ones that they never, ever dreamed they would use. And so we're very thankful for each and every one.
Thank you for those remarks. I know that will be appreciated too. Next, I'd like to introduce Mr. Damon Donnell. Mr. Donnell has been instrumental in helping us facilitate the potential naming of the new Performing Arts Center at the School of Innovation. As you know, several of you, if not all of you, have toured the new facility, and it's remarkable. Mr. Damon, if you don't mind, would you like to say a few words about the namesake or proposed namesake of the Performing Arts Center?
I would. So go back many, many, many years when I was at Bologna Middle School, my idol was Pat Ellison. I wanted to be just like Pat Ellison. I wanted to move like Pat Ellison. I wanted to teach like Pat Ellison. I wanted to speak like Pat Ellison. I wanted to do everything. And one day in Fort Smith, I actually had the privilege of sitting down and just having a meal with Pat Ellison, which was epic for me. It was absolutely amazing. Today we have Barbara and Edward Hancock that are here. Barbara is actually the older sister of Miss Ellison, and Edward is Miss Ellison's brother-in-law. And I've had the privilege of knowing them over the last few years. I went to their son's wedding and really became great friends with him. And he's actually the band director, the new band director at UCA, which is amazing. So Michael Hancock used to be the assistant at the high school, and now he's the band director at University of Central Arkansas. So it's pretty amazing. Just a phenomenal person. And when I started in this position, I was trying to just find a vision for band and choir that would take it to the next level. And I thought who else to meet with was Pat Ellison. Her favorite place to eat was Marketplace Grill. And she said, well, I'll meet with you if you'll take me over to Marketplace Grill. And I said, I'll do it. So we went over there, and I'll never forget this little quote she made for me. She said, if you forget everything I've said today, don't forget this. It's we, not me. That's what makes great things great. It's we, not me. And we've just carried that message through all of our programs and really talked about that, what that means. And it is just an honor here to stand here before you tonight and even have you consider naming that facility the Pat Ellison Performing Arts Center.
Ms. Cook, my recommendation is for you to consider this evening to name the Performing Arts Center at Don Tyson School of Innovation the Pat Ellison Performing Arts Center.
Board, do you have any questions or?
I think it's a no-brainer. I mean, I never got to play in the band for Miss Ellison, but obviously I went to school there and everybody knew who Miss Ellison was. She actually kind of scared me because she was so good and so intense on what she did. But I can't think of anybody better to name something after that's got to do with performing of any kind, because she was the consummate performance. I mean, it was great. I loved to watch her halftime performances even after I graduated, and went back and watched football games. I mean, that was as good or better than the football game sometimes. So anyway, I think it's an awesome idea. Do we need a motion to do that?
Yes, sir.
I would love to make a motion to name the DTSOI Performing Arts Center after Pat Ellison. Second.
At first, I have a motion by Mr. Hutchinson, a second by Mr. Owenby to name the John Tyson School of Innovation Performing Arts Center the Pat Ellison Performing Arts Center. All those in favor? Aye. Opposed? One thing I want to say on it is the same as Randy after that we voted and it passed, is that she had, and why I think this is so fitting, she had an impact across Arkansas. It wasn't, while she had an impact on everyone that went to Springdale High, she touched performing arts on every level of the state.
Absolutely.
And no matter where we went or what we did, if we were going for debate or football or anything, everyone knew about our band and everyone knew her name. And so I think it's fitting that it's on the Don Tyson School of Innovation Performing Arts Center, and I'm excited to that it's there. Thank you.
Thank you, board. Thank you, guys.
Okay, Ms. Cook, school board, I put together for you a packet that's on your table that really just to be straightforward, I pulled from AAEA. There were just a couple of things I wanted to highlight tonight, and really they're toward the end. Things about keeping on your radar. I know that House Bill 1939 was put in interim study. That was a bill that would allow school board members, if the school board or the census didn't impact your school district, especially for at-large positions, or you not have to rerun. I think that is a possibility to come back in September when the census data is renewed and the legislature reconvenes. But there are a couple things that just need to stay on our radar. Vouchers, tax deductions, tax credit, and scholarship bills, those are going to head our way again, along with some unrestricted building fund balance reviews. By now, every year we take any additional money that we don't budget, if we're able, or don't use, we're able to put in an unrestricted building fund. Of course, you know we do that in order to meet project requirements that you all deem appropriate. So anyway, there may be consideration in the next legislative session for that. Of course, the box store or the dark store theory, that will continue to come forward. So those are just things to keep on our radar as a school board and an administrative team. So anyway, I hope that you're able to look through all those. I know the ones of you that went to the ASBA conference, they went through several of those. I know they can get tiring, but they're all there for you to keep. So anyway, that's my legislative report for you, Ms. Cook. The best thing is the system.
You ready for me?
me again. I think that's a song, not sure. Okay, so my first update for you all from the world of curriculum and instruction is a celebration update for the Arkansas Seal of Biliteracy. For those of you who have served on the board previously, you're probably familiar with the Seal of Biliteracy program. Adopted first by California in 2011, the Seal of Biliteracy is now recognized in 42 states and in Washington, D.C. And according to the website, just a little snip about the Seal of Biliteracy. The Seal of Biliteracy encourages students to pursue biliteracy, honors the skills our students attain, and can be evidence of skills that are attractive to future employers and college admissions offices. And so since 2017, when Arkansas began to pilot the Arkansas Seal of Biliteracy, a total of 2,124 students from 62 high schools around the state of Arkansas have attained this certification across 16 languages other than English. And so students who are awarded the Seal of Biliteracy, it's basically saying that they are demonstrating proficiency in both English and one other language. Some students actually receive multiple seals of biliteracy in multiple languages. I'm very excited to report, and this is breaking news, the spring 2021 results for the seal have been published, and Springdale Schools has the first students in the state to be awarded the Seal of Biliteracy in Marshallese. So we have made history. And I would be remiss not to thank all of our world language teachers, our native speaker teachers, all of our teachers, because all of our teachers are teachers of literacy. And so just some numbers for you. Springdale High School just this spring had 32 students receive the Seal of Biliteracy. 3 students of the 32 received the seal in Marshallese. HAR-BER High School had 59 students receive the Seal of Biliteracy, and they also had 3 students receive the seal in Marshallese. And then Don Tyson School of Innovation had 17 students who received the Arkansas Seal of Biliteracy. So congratulations to all of those recipients. Okay. Next, I wanted to make a really important announcement, and I don't think Alondra and Pedro were able to make it. Pedro had mock trial competition for nationals for HAR-BER High Debate, and Alondra, I believe, is working this evening. But I wanted to let you know that both Alondra Bahena and Pedro Manon have been awarded the Gates Scholarship, so they are officially Gates Scholar recipients. And let me tell you how big of a deal this is. The Gates Scholarship Class of 2021 is made up of 300 scholars chosen from 34,900 applications. And we had 2 in our district. 2 of 300 came from Springdale Public Schools. If that's not something to celebrate, I do not know what is.
We ever had one?
Not that I'm aware of. Maybe before. I would be happy to research it and let you know.
I couldn't remember.
It is a very big deal, and I'll just
Definitely
give you.
not 2.
Yeah. So Gates Scholars represent the very pinnacle of academic achievement, service, and commitment. And so first, about Alondra, she said she was completely astonished when she found out, and she said the odds of receiving the award were so low because there are obviously so many applicants, and she's very grateful. Alondra has already been accepted to the University of Arkansas, the University of Virginia, and the University of Virginia and the University of Richmond. She plans to pursue a career in law. And the thing about the Gates Scholarship is it covers all costs not included in any other scholarship she receives from the school she chooses to attend. So any leftover balance, all cleared out through Gates Scholarship. So congratulations to Alondra.
Will that put her all the way through law school if she chooses to do that, or just the first 4 years?
That I don't know the answer to. I believe it's an initial degree scholarship. Yes, it is. Yeah. And so she said that she likes helping people, and that's why she's motivated to be a lawyer. She wants to help those who need representation or might not know what their rights are. So congratulations to Alondra. And then Pedro Manon is also, Alondra is from Springdale High School, if I didn't say. Pedro Manon is from HAR-BER High School. And again, 34,900 applicants, only 300 chosen. Pedro has been accepted to Harvard, Yale, Duke, Texas A&M, Washington State at St. Louis, and several other schools. He and his family are currently working out details for him to attend Harvard, which is his first choice. So again, the Gates Scholarship will cover all costs, not included any scholarships he may receive from Harvard University. He plans to be a computer science major, and he chose Harvard because he believes it is one of the best computer science schools in the world. And he also likes its close proximity to MIT, because Harvard students have the opportunity to partner with MIT students in different computer science initiatives, and so he's very excited. And he decided that he wanted to enter computer science when he saw Iron Man 10 years ago. And so, yeah, he's very excited, and we are very excited. So congratulations to both of them. Okay, and then my final, oh, yes, we can give them applause. Yeah. The final piece of my section of the agenda is to fully equip you to be prepared for our graduation ceremonies this weekend. And I am going to fully equip you for that by allowing the principals to do that. And so I will have them come up in order of which the ceremonies occur. So first, Dr. Kobe Davis will come and speak with you about Archer Learning Center on Friday evening. He will be followed by Mr. Jones from Springdale High School. Then Dr. Greep from HAR-BER and Ms. Bortz from Don Tyson School of Innovation will wrap up the graduation information segment of the agenda. Any questions for me before I pass it to Dr. Davis? Okay, thank you.
Good evening. How are you all this evening? Well, it's exciting times at Archer. I mean, as it is all over the district. I kind of wanted to share a story a little bit about graduation at Archer right now. So, unlike maybe in other schools, we have a bunch of kids that are still working, a whole lot. But it's been super fun. So I'm not a Razorback fan. I don't know if you know that about me. I'm an Ole Miss fan. But one thing, what'd you say? Yes, exactly. One thing that I do like about Razorback games is when, they say that it's another Razorback first down and everybody gets all excited and I'm like, oh, I hate Razorbacks. But anyway, so, well, when we are playing Ole Miss, every other game, I want you to win, maybe. I don't know. We probably don't need to get into contract. Yes. We don't need to talk about it. Let's
just move on to graduation.
Yes. But in our school right now, what our teachers are doing is every time a kid finishes, they go, and they announce it real loud so everybody in the building hears, we got another Archer graduate, and everybody cheers, and it's really the most fun thing ever. It has been so much fun, and it's fun because we are now experiencing the largest class we have ever had at Archer. It's super exciting. As of today, we have 160 that are finished. I hate to say out loud, but I think we'll hit 200. It's very likely we will hit 200 graduates, and maybe even more. So we're crazy excited. That's almost double the size we normally have been. So it's a very fun time to be at Archer. It's fun to be a part of all of these experiences. You got a lot of cool things to look forward to. Not only this year will we get to unveil our new alma mater, we've got these really fancy new robes and with these fancy collars. It's going to be a show. So I'm super excited. I'm super excited about you being there for us. So in this packet, there's quite a bit of information. And so I'll just talk about some of the things that are here. There's on the left side, you have obviously when graduation is. That night we have the 6 o'clock and the 7:30. We are trying our best to make that happen. I think we're being very optimistic that we will make a 7:30 happen. We're going to try. We're going to keep our ceremony below 45 minutes, and that means we just have about 15 to 20 minutes before the next group comes in. Now, I don't know if our cleaning team is excited about that as much as we are, but we're trying really hard to move that fast so that we can get everybody in and out as quick as possible. Our team has been really integral in helping us think through how is that going to work, keeping those kind of back to back that way. And we'll split the kids. A to K will be in our first ceremony, and L through Z will be in our second ceremony. You can see there's a program here that kind of goes through how the ceremony will look. Our ceremony will look almost like it has always looked. There are a couple things we've changed. We won't have a traditional speaker, but just about everything else that we've done before we'll still be able to do, obviously with social distancing and masks, but we're really excited about being able to provide almost a complete normal graduation. On the right side of your folder, you'll see there's a plethora of information. This is everything graduation related at Archer. And I won't bore you by going through all of it, but I will point out a couple things. The very first page after the contents, you'll see some of the highlights. That's already outdated. That information there has already been outdated. We've hit over $350,000 in student aid right now. For us, that's huge. That's really huge. We had one young lady who got about $80,000 to JVU, and so we're crazy excited about that. And so there's a lot of really cool things that are happening for us. You'll see the next page, it goes through, this is the letter that we sent home. Actually, your letter looks a little different because it shows both graduation A and B on the same page. As we sent it to families, it only said A or B, so there was no confusion about which one they were to attend. But it goes through everything, telling them exactly what's expected for the ceremonies. You can see the next page is an example of our tickets, some of the signage that we will have at the ceremony. We've already been working with the City of Springdale Police Department just to make sure that we have appropriate security for the event. Then you'll see, obviously the pages aren't numbered, so it gets tricky here, but there is a page here that goes through the entire ceremony, just kind of step by step, so you'll see. If we flip to this next page, which is this diagram, you'll notice that the green area is the hospitality room. That's the same space we've always been in. That's that smaller band room, so we'll still be in there. We'll still have food that evening. Miss Creek, you'll be happy to know that Harps is catering for us that night, yes. And so we're really excited about that. We're asking that you try to be there a little early, but obviously we'll be able to. We've got one really fun surprise I can't tell you about, but you're going to really love it. So get there just a few minutes so you can have a little time with the surprise. You're going to love it. I'm just telling you, you're going to love it. So anyway, but we'll eat together there. You can eat before or between the ceremonies, whichever works for you. We'll have everything laid out pretty well for you there. You'll see there's a diagram for the PAC. I think we've done a pretty good job trying to distance people where families and students will sit. And then what's probably most pertinent to you is kind of how the stage will look. And so we'll sit the same way we've always sat on the stage. You guys will still pass out diplomas as always. Miss Davis will have for you that evening a list of names, so you don't have to figure out, okay, is it my turn yet? So you'll see when this name is called, you can switch. That's something I don't think we've done before, but we're trying to get a little better. So we'll have that for you that evening. We'll run the ceremony pretty similarly that we've done in the past. Miss Crespin will be speaking, and here's a copy of her. We asked for to do a staff charge this year, and so in lieu of a traditional speaker, we have one of our staff members that the students help select to speak just a bit. I think that is everything. What questions do you have?
We're ready.
We have reserved parking for you in the past, and many of you do not park in those spots because y'all know the facility so well. You've parked in other places. Would you like for us to reserve parking for you, or are you happy to find spots? I mean, we've blocked our seats. I mean, parking spots before, and no one will park in them.
I was gonna say I parked in it last year before last.
You did?
The ones that are right by the band.
Yeah.
I mean, that's where.
We'll block them off again then. So we'll make sure the spots are there. Well, maybe you were the one sole person. We've had some people who haven't parked in them. I won't call any names. And come in different doors too, but won't say anything about that. Yes. I think that's all. Is there any questions for me? Okay, we are very, very excited. It's going to be a great ceremony and or ceremonies, we're really looking forward to you being a part of that with us. Thank you.
Good evening, board. It is a crazy, busy, fun week at Springdale High School. Not only are we working with seniors every day and getting ready to host state soccer tournament, but we got graduation Saturday. And before I hand out the packet to you guys, I want to publicly thank Mr. Don Eichenberger. He eats, breathes, lives graduation, and does a great job covering the details. I promise you, he makes my life easier, and he makes your life easier. You may not know all that he goes through at this point, but the details are covered. He knows the answer, and I just want to publicly say how much I appreciate him and all his work. But I'm going to hand you these packets. I'm going to let him cover the details.
Good evening. I've pulled up the copy that you're receiving on my phone, so I can go as quickly as there. Nice to see you guys. It's been like a long time, it seems. Thank you for coming. I just want to say one thing real quick. We do lots of work, but I got to give a shout out to our teaching staff. 3 weeks ago, I had 157 kids that weren't going to graduate out of our senior class, and I say that in front of all of you here. It wasn't, because of this reason or that reason, et cetera. But right now, according to everybody, all the work that our counselors and our teachers have done with our kids over the last 3 weeks, I just got a text message from Miss Downing, said we're up to over 94% of those kids are now going to be graduating, so we're going to have a little bit better one. So that's just a great accomplishment for our staff. And next time you see them, just let them know how much you appreciate them, because it's incredible. I don't know how many people could have done as much work in the amount of time that we've done it. So a shout out for our staff. If you look at there, a couple things here, we're going to read real similar with HAR-BER here, because we're both at the university. The university guidelines are very, very strict, and you'll notice a lot of those. We'll talk about some of the highlights of that tonight here as we move through this kind of quickly. We're going to have, because of we can't have more than 288 people on the floor at any given time. So that's why there are multiple ceremonies. We'll have 2 ceremonies for Springdale High School, one at 9 and one at 11:30. They can only go 1 hour. Okay, that's done. 1 hour, they're going to start cleaning. Okay, 1 hour for the next one, because they have to disinfect it, let it sit for half an hour before the next one can come in. So that's kind of the way we are. I believe HAR-BER has 3, correct? So it'll be a nice day for you guys. If you get there at 8, you'll be out, sometime. So don't make any, if you want to make dinner reservations, they better be late. So anyway, we have, that's what's going on now. Ours will be divided up by alphabet, A through K and L through Z. Will be our 2 ceremonies. As you go through down here, if you'll look on page 3, the one that has, I don't know what comes up, but that's the way it came up on my phone. Our time schedule is very precise about who will be performing, who will be on the stage at any given time. Another thing is different. We can only have 10 on the stage at a time. So with U7, with Dr. Cleveland, Mr. Jones, and our student council president, Chloe Crane, we're full. And you'll notice when you get down there, the stage is physically smaller than it has been in the past. They have 288 seats spread 6 foot apart in all directions. It goes from wall to wall downstairs. So we're anticipating having somewhere around 240, 250 kids in each ceremony. That's about what we'll have. So they'll be small and they'll be quick. So they'll be going from there. So anyway, that's how that goes. We also, the next page there has the graduation where you'll be on, we're up another 0.2%. Miss Downing is a very proficient woman. So there you go. We couldn't do things what we do without her. On page, the next one is your seating arrangement on stage. A little bit different. We will not be marching in. That is also a thing that we're not allowed to do this year. So about 5 minutes before the ceremony, we'd ask you to please take your spots. And so we'll be ready to go on time promptly at 9 o'clock. Okay? That's the only thing. That's the thing. It's really, really different. The rest of it is just particulars. The rest of it from that point in time will be very, very similar to what we normally do. We don't have a normal speaker like we have in the past coming in from outside. Dr. Cleveland is graciously going to offer some words, and he'll introduce the board, and we'll go from there. And after that, we have a short bit of music from our chorus, which isn't there. They'll have a recording that'll play, and then we'll move right into calling out the people. At 8 seconds apiece, if they're all there, we got 33 minutes to get that going through there. So we'll be snapping up there. We're going to do the on stage, unless you have an objection. We're planning on doing it as we normally have. Students will come in from both sides. You'll hand them the diploma cover. We'll have them there for you. Life Touch will be doing a photo opportunity there. They'll snap your photo. And then after the students get their diploma cover, they will head out the south end, out the south tunnel. They'll hang a left, go back to the big tunnel on the east side. They get another photo op there. The university is allowing the students to take off their mask there. They can get a picture made with their cover in front of a backdrop, and that'll be the signature photo for them. Yes, sir.
Are we shaking hands or are we
Yeah,
just?
that was my question.
According to the university, we, myself and Mr. Gladden went down there yesterday. It's up to you. If you want to fist bump, you want to elbow bump, you want to shake hands, it's your call. It's your call according to them, according to the university, it's your call. Okay?
Are you telling the kids anything specifically? 'Cause
We will well, it depends on what you say. As soon as we get out here, we're going to meet with them. We're going to meet with our kids on Friday. Okay. That's what we're going, that's our expectation is going to be. Okay, cool.
But if
They're
I don't
okay.
want to shake hands if the student's not comfortable with it.
Okay. And I'll also have a list ready for you if you're looking for some particular kid, like, well, you may have a vested interest in a certain graduate. We'll make sure that you can get that opportunity to see those kids. Okay? So that's how the stage presence is going to work. It's similar. It's exactly what we've done in the past. And they'll come off, then Coach Clark, Coach Price will be helping them down the stairs, and then they'll exit out the south end. Now then, one thing the university also says, as soon as the kid's name receives their diploma, they walk off, their parents are been asked to leave their groups. We'll get into that just in a second. But so theoretically, when the last one goes across, it's going to be an empty house. And at 10 o'clock, whether we're done or not, they're going to start disinfecting. So we got to kind of keep it going there. But we've looked at our last 3 graduations we've had down there, and we averaged calling out a name about every 7 or 8 seconds, and we're on like an 8 to 10 second dial right now, and we should be able to finish in time real fine.
Just to keep us out of trouble with U of A, if one of us has a graduate and they hug them, they're not going to lose their mind.
No, they're fine.
Okay.
This has been the easiest to deal with they've ever
Just wanna
been.
make sure.
that I can remember. They're very easy to deal with right now, and they're wanting to make sure that we have a good experience, and which is really nice. They've been very student-centered in this whole process, I would say. Okay? That's kind of how that's going to look. And like I said, the parents will come in about the seats. Each student is given as many as 6 tickets, and to deal with for their family and their people that are coming with them. The university, when they come in, they will have their bags searched. There will not be any metal detectors, and we're not using the clear bag policy that they normally do. But if you have a large bag, they're going to search that, a rudimentary search, and then people are going on their way. They're looking for ways to get people in, not to keep people out. They'll come up the stairs. We'll have the elevators be available for the handicap. We've also talked them into opening up the west. Instead of just the south door, the west door will be open too. You can come in at the level that the handicap seating is in. So if we have any handicapped people, they don't have to climb any stairs. They just have to walk up to the west side, and they can come right in, come in and sit. Handicap seating will be indicated around it's not the club level, but the room level right there. There's a room there. That's where they're going to have those people, and then they can have their helpers with them as well. Okay, so we make sure that we meet those needs. Where was I? Okay, we were doing that. As we go on down the list, there's a brief list of our expectations on dress. That's on page 5 on the list that we ask our students to do. It's very similar to what HAR-BER does. The students with special needs, right now we have 4 students with special needs that want to participate. 3 of them are in the second service, 1 is in the first. They'll be introduced first, and if need be, if our soccer team is still playing, then our soccer team will be participating in the first service as well. So we can get them out of there and get them to the field before 12 o'clock. So it's the best of both. It's not the best that we could. It's the best that we could do, and it offers them an opportunity to participate and still get to their game in time. Dr. Cleveland's address is in there. Biography is in there. You'll notice here there are inside your packet, there is a parking pass, which you'll do. You'll enter off Razorback Road, and that's now not Leroy Pond anymore. That is Nolan Richardson Drive. And the only way to enter that is if you have this parking pass. Just put it on your dash. We'll be in lot 62 as we normally are on the east side of the stadium. There's parking in there for 60 at a time. If there's overflow, it would be over at the softball field across the street. But we should be fine because people will be coming and going all day except for us. We'll be there. So, and the second one there is also a floor pass that you can keep. It's in your packet there, was in the very front down at the bottom. That's a floor pass to get you in there. We were able to partner with HAR-BER and get a lot of these things done, and it's great to work with our partners to the west. You can notice a little bit more on the map here. I'm sure Mr. Greep will share that with you too, the map of where seating occurs. They have seats marked off in six seat rows or pods, if you will, and the rows are marked off, et cetera. So that's to meet their standards on social distancing. Okay? And that's just something we have to comply with them. Approximately 15 minutes before the ceremony starts, so at 8:45 and then again at 11:15, the upper deck will be open and they will be motioning people to go upstairs at that time if they get there within 15 minutes of the time of the ceremony, so we avoid people trying to not fight for seats, but people looking for seats down below. Okay? So there should be plenty of room for everybody. I think there's 288 6-seat spots for, in our case, 230 or 40 graduates. So there should be plenty of room there for our patrons. We want to make sure we do them. The next one here on page 12, you see what the actual what our ceremony will look like. Kids will get up, they'll go out to the sides, come up to the ramp, then they'll go out the middle. I'm sorry, I don't mean to go too long. I'm just trying to make sure that you know what we're doing. The prohibited items is the next thing. That's the standard fare from the university, except they're not enforcing the clear bag policy. And then there's 2 detailed maps about parking. We've also sent almost all this information out to all of our students and parents within the last 2 weeks, so they have a ready idea of what their expectations is and what they need to do. Okay, so, and we have plenty of food. We'll have breakfast items there. We'll have snacks. We'll have some nice stuff from HAR-BER. We got some Chick-fil-A. We got box lunches. You know, if anything else, you're going to go home full. Okay? You're going to get a full day of the excellence that the students that the Springdale Schools produces, and it'll be a wonderful opportunity. We're very, very happy that you're able to come. Any questions you might have?
Great job.
Talk too much, but there you go. So. When I got the job, one of the first rules I got, and I won't mention the person that gave me the rules, number 1, don't talk unless you have to. So there you go.
I think I know what that means.
Yeah, it's still on my cell phone today. Yeah. But anyway, I appreciate you so much. I know we do, and I know our partners at HAR-BER High, they'll have some outstanding things for you too. Thank you for your time.
Thanks.
Well, Dr. Cleveland and board, thank you for the opportunity to present tonight. Before we go over the details, again, I'm so thankful for the opportunity to have a face-to-face graduation. I mean, it's just so exciting for our kids. And I'm just so thankful for our teachers across the district, how hard they've worked to get our kids across the finish line. We're anticipating graduating 604 seniors this year, and so that's incredible. And again, it wouldn't have happened without the hard work of our teachers. So speaking of a great teammate, Dr. Gladden is just phenomenal. I mean, the details that he puts together that he'll share with you in a few minutes, I just am so appreciative. You know, we've gone over these multiple times, and then, you know, just a couple days ago, it's like, oh yeah, we looked at our soccer, baseball, softball, and again, he's just incredible. So I just want to say thank you for the work that you've done, and so I'll turn it over to Curtis.
Thank you, Dr. Greep. So the packet that Dr. Greep has given you guys, I'll go through all that, but in the back, before I forget, is a little invitation to our senior celebration, which will be Thursday. I think you may have gotten maybe an invite on that, but Thursday at 9 o'clock in our gym, we have our senior celebration. We'll recognize some scholarship winners and things. Also, there's your parking pass. It's the same pass that Mr. Eichenberger created. It's one, so you guys don't have to swap out. I know you guys wanted that. So, and there's also in the very back, there will be an assignment for students that you can give diplomas to. Obviously, you don't have to follow that, but I did set it up. It's color-coded for you guys for each graduation. Again, if you want to swap around, move, whatever, that's up to you, but you can follow that. I did spend some time to try to organize that. Again, so we're following Springdale. Everything will pretty much be the same. Obviously, we're going to have fewer graduates. We've got approximately 200 per ceremony. We'll have multiple volunteers helping. I will say before I forget, the first ceremony, the 2 o'clock ceremony, we will have our students with special needs. We'll have 4 of them that will go very first. I think if you look at the diagram where I have you guys sitting, I think it's Mr. Hutchinson on your side. I think it's the B side. They'll be going through. So we'll have all of them go first, those 4, and then we'll start the rest of them after that. Trying to think of a lot of ditto what Mr. Eichenberger said. We'll have everything set up exactly pretty much the same as you've done it in the past. Students going across, it's up to you whether you shake hands or fist bump. We didn't tell the kids one way or the other. I think whatever they're comfortable with. I don't know how awkward that's going to be, but we want it to be as real as possible. They go through you, then to Dr. Cleveland or Dr. Greep, and they go down the stairs. So change their tassel over, and they'll walk straight out and go get their picture made in the back. Trying to think what would be different. I think Eichenberger stole all the words today. So.
Makes it easy on you.
Yeah, that's why I wanted to follow him. Questions for me related to our ceremonies. It's going to be pretty much identical as Mr. Eichenberger said, that we will have the hospitality room. We'll have food for you guys. It's going to be a very long day for you, and we just appreciate you guys being there to honor our kids.
Lunch and dinner.
Yeah, and we'll have some snacks in between, to keep you guys going.
We did it for Fulbright at the U of A
Okay.
this Friday. It flows a lot better than I ever dreamed it would, as far as parents coming in and out, students going in and out. I was very skeptical about how any of it would work, and I know you're still all very nervous and worried and all of that, but it does flow a lot better and a lot. I think even some of the students found, although they're not with everybody, they found it a little more personable in a way, because they could see and talk, when they're going to their seat.
Right.
It's the best for a crazy situation, but it did flow really well.
Yeah. Well, it's just going to be a long day, and I appreciate you guys. I'm just amazed that we get to do it. I'm super happy about it. So,
So your HAR-BER's 3 ceremonies are 2, 4:30, and
7.
And they're an hour.
Right. So there's there's like an hour and a half in between. That's so they can clean, and then it's got to dry, and then we get it going. Students will show up about 45 minutes prior to their ceremony, and we'll start seating them, but the doors won't open until 30 minutes before, and we'll have some senior videos playing on the video board as they're being seated, and with the music and everything, and then we kick off right at those scheduled times, and we'll just ask you guys. We'll give you guys a couple-minute warning to have you take your seats, and then we'll just kick it off.
I have a question.
Yes.
Between your graduation diagram A and B, like one is seating in the arena and the other one is during the ceremony, like you only have 2 board members on the stage during the ceremony?
Yeah, that's just those that are handing out the.
So the rest of us, will.
You can be on the stage as long as we don't go over 10. Typically, we just stay on the stage and you step up to give out the diploma covers. I'm sorry if that was a little misleading, but.
Well, I just didn't know if we were supposed to.
No, we don't expect you to leave. No. It should be just pretty much like it has been the last couple years. Anything else?
Thank you.
Okay. Thank you again.
Good evening. So you get to sleep in on Sunday. We don't start until 1 for our first ceremony at Don Tyson School of Innovation, and we are so excited to be having our commencement ceremonies in the Pat Ellison Performing Arts Center. And so graduation will be one of the first few events that we're hosting there. We have had some band concerts and choir concerts, but we're excited that our students will be graduating at Don Tyson School of Innovation this year. will be a little bit different. We do have 2 ceremonies. School board, Dr. Cleveland, myself, we will be seated on stage, and I'll go through all of the pieces that are included in your packet today. There's a letter just addressing and outlining some of the important events that you all need to know. We do have our senior scholarship recognition assembly on Friday at 9 a.m. And then we have a senior breakfast that we started 3 years ago as a tradition for our students. So all of that will be happening on Friday. The program for our senior assembly is included. And of course, you all are invited and welcome to attend as we recognize those accomplishments. There's a map for parking for school board and district administration. You are going to park in the area of the industrial maintenance facility in Diesel. There's a door that leads into the Performing Arts Center, so that will be your designated parking area, and someone will be there to greet you. We are asking you to arrive around 12:30 in preparation for the 1 o'clock ceremony. We also have the Performing Arts Center map, and then the numbers on the stage just designate the way we will be seated, and then there is a legend to the right. The hospitality, you'll see the door that you're going to come in on the top right of the page, and then the hospitality room is also indicated on there. But again, we will have people meeting you and making sure that you know where to go and what to do on the day of the ceremony. Our program is included in this packet for you to review. And there's a timeline that's the very last document in your packet that you can just see how the ceremony will be outlined. We have on, each ceremony will be an hour in length. And we also have included the way we've broken the alphabet for each ceremony for you to hand out diplomas. But obviously, if you have someone that you want to hand out that diploma to, you're welcome to make any changes on those as well. There's one for the 1 o'clock ceremony, and then also one for the 3 o'clock ceremony. We do have an hour in between our ceremonies, and are just going to make sure that we make housekeeping announcement in the beginning, especially at the 1 o'clock ceremony, making sure that everyone knows that we need to quickly exit the Performing Arts Center in preparation for the next ceremony. We are asking all of our guests to stay seated, just the size of our facility. If people were getting up and leaving when their student exited stage, it would be a lot of distractions. So we will ask all of our guests to remain seated until the ceremony has concluded. So any questions? Okay, we'll be looking forward to seeing you on Sunday.
Great weekend.
It will be.
I want to give a hand to our high school principals for getting this all organized in a year like no other. So good evening, board. Thank you for allowing me to speak on behalf of some of our schools who have received some excellent recognition. The curriculum and instruction team this year has really put a focus back on our professional learning communities. We believe that professional learning communities really is the only way that we're going to bridge the learning gap that was created because of the pandemic, and I'm here to share some exciting news with you. So each year, the Arkansas Department of Elementary and Secondary Education offers large grants to districts and schools that apply for schools to receive in-depth, job-embedded professional development training in the area of professional learning communities. Last year, Bayari Elementary applied, and they were awarded the DESE grant. And so they were able to partner with the Solution Tree. And Solution Tree, if you're not familiar, they're kind of the pioneers of the PLC process. They really have done some outstanding work in the PLC process and helping schools and districts get systems in place to focus on students and their learning. So they have received so much support from them. They have received monthly academic coaching through Solution Tree. So an academic coach visits their campus every month to support the teachers and administrators. They've had quarterly coaching with assessment, quarterly coaching with literacy, with math, and they have received 6 days of in-depth leadership coaching, which is huge. In addition to that, they have received training with PLC experts such as Mike Matos and Bob Eakers, as well as others. And Ms. Mulliken has been able to be part of a strong network of principals in the state that are doing this amazing work. And so they are learning how to structure PLCs around these questions. What are the essential standards we want our students to learn? How do we know they've learned it? How do students learn? And what are we going to do when students learn it? And in addition, what do we do to extend their learning? So this year we had five schools apply for the 21-22 DESE grant for PLCs at work. And the schools spent hours and hours and pages of time doing an application. It was very rigorous. I know because I read most of them. And they submitted that to the Arkansas Department of Education. The Arkansas Department of Education narrowed their focus down to a handful of schools, and they conducted Zoom interviews with the principal, with assistant superintendent, that was me, and they included Johnny Key and Ivy Fetfer in these interviews. And so I'm so excited to announce that Parson Hills Elementary and Hellstern Middle School have been chosen this year to participate in Cohort 5 of the PLC process. But something else incredible happened this year too. For the first time ever, the state they have begun a program called the Professional Learning Communities at Work Regional Network. And our other 3 schools, Westwood, Southwest Junior High, and Smith Elementary, have been chosen to participate in that as well. And this network is going to build on the same foundational practices necessary to create a PLC at Work school. So we're very excited in Springdale that we have 5 schools that will begin this journey. I could not be more proud of these schools, their teachers, and their principals for the commitment that they've made to learn and grow. And learn and grow they will do. And I know that we will be a better district because of what they are accomplishing through this project. So thank you very much. Do you have any questions for me? Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Good evening. I think my report will be brief because we're getting to the point where there's not a lot to report on COVID-19, which is a big relief for everyone, I'm sure. This past month, there were 54 students and staff who tested positive. These numbers you'll see on the next slide, the cumulative and how we've progressed month to month. Very, very similar, almost identical actually to last month's numbers. So percentage-wise, that's 0.2% of our on-campus students and staff. There were 6 positive staff members, again 0.2% of that group, and 48 positive students, again 0.2%. That's our number. 45 students were identified as PCCs. Remember that over the last month or so, I don't remember exactly when the change happened, but the Department of Health changed the quarantine guidelines. So now if students and or staff are masked during their contact with the positive person, they're no longer considered a PCC and no longer required to quarantine. So when we're looking at our PCCs, even for this relatively small number of students and staff, then the number that we're looking at to actually quarantine is very small because we're only looking at meal times and outside times. So that's been a relief for buildings as well, as we're able to keep a lot more people in the classroom. Here's where we've been. Starting when the first month I gave this report in October, you'll see that April and May, like I said, are almost identical. And I believe that we'll make this report in June, and then there won't be
anything to report. So, do you have any questions about this information or anything else COVID related? All right, thank you.
What are you gonna do with all your spare time?
You know, Dr. Cleveland and I were talking about this today, that there are things that kind of got pushed aside for many, many months, and so now it's kind of getting to catch up on my real job. So, yes, exactly.
Good evening, Board. Dr. Cleveland. First thing on my section is a partnership funding update. Since we've last met, the State Department has released the numbers for partnership funding. They're kind of doing it in phases, and so we don't have official approval on the central portion, but we anticipate that by July 1. Is that correct?
We think potentially even in May.
Oh, even in May. Okay, so perhaps even this month. But the numbers, it did come up a little bit in our favor, about 37.5 million rather than 35, as we had been projecting. So that's good. So we're excited about that. So just wanted to share that with you. That kind of leads me into the next item on the agenda for me, and that is our school election. Early voting started today. If voters wish to vote early, they may vote at either the Benton County Courthouse if they live in Benton County, or at the Washington County Courthouse if they live in Washington County. The polling hours, I think, are 7:30 to 7:30, even for early voting. I may need to double check that. But the polls will be open next Tuesday. Obviously, we're excited about the opportunity that we're presenting to our patrons. We're asking them to consider approving extending our existing debt, as well as allowing us to refinance our existing debt to take advantage of lower interest rates. By doing that, we'll be able to borrow additional funds that we need to complete projects at Central Junior High, Southwest, and Springdale High School. So we have information about the election on our website, so anyone can go there and see the proposal and what we plan to do with the funds if we're successful. So just wanted to give you that update. And then
And Kevin, don't forget to go vote. Because Kevin will also be on the
oh,
group.
that's right, Mr. Owenby's on the ballot, so somebody needs to go vote for Mr. Owenby.
Somebody
And
will do it, that way I don't have to.
This Molly will be voting tomorrow.
Okay. If you want to.
well, somebody needs to go vote.
He is unopposed,
Because
just
it
for
was,
everybody's.
yeah. The next item I have for you, Board, is our 6B budget for the 21-22 school year. For some reason, they like for us to get this in earlier than all the rest of the budget. And so basically, as you probably have seen in the agenda, we spend all of our 6B funds on salary and benefits to educate those students we have that have disabilities. That is not nearly all the money we spend on those students, but this is the federal portion, and so it's fairly exactly what we've been doing with those funds over the last several years. So if you have any questions, I had also put in the information for you, the federal funds for our preschool students. Up until, I think this is the first year, the co-op has always handled all of that for us in funding and everything. The State Department changed the way that is being handled this year, and they're sending the funds to us, which we then send to the co-op because they're still doing all of those services for us. They handle all of the needs of our preschoolers that have special needs. So Dr. Harshaw's here. If we can answer any questions for you. Otherwise, we would ask that you approve this for the 21-22 school year.
Board, any questions for?
I make a motion that we approve the 6B budget for the 21-22 school year as presented.
A motion by Mrs. Creek, a second by Mr. Emerson to approve the 6B budget for the 2021-2022 school year. All those in favor? Opposed? Motion passes.
Thank you. And now Mr. White's going to give you a construction update.
Hello, Board. Dr. Cleveland. So I've got some updated photos on our projects that we're working on currently. This is Rollins Elementary. This is on the inside. That's the learning stairs, and you're actually looking at the office space. So this is the upstairs of Area A. They've got most of the sheetrock up. This is more of Area A. So they're making good progress on Area A. This is actually in the gym. It's big. So, and then the treehouse pantry. I haven't showed any photos of this, and we really just started on this project. So we're in demo phase.
Is that where you said we could come help demo?
Yeah. Yeah. Anytime. That's on the inside. So we started the plumbing. We've actually got the plumbing attached out at the street. We had to do a new tap, and they actually poured the concrete back this morning. So tomorrow we should start framing the interior walls.
Could you remind everyone what the treehouse pantry is going to be used for?
So all the donations for the district will go to this building, whether it's food, clothing, shoes, any kind of donation will go here and then get separated out, and then parents can either pick it up here or they will be delivering, to locations and stuff. And Damon Donnell's really heading that up. But it started. And then this is the child nutrition building. So we actually started on this February 24th. And so it's just some pictures of the interior. We had to put in temporary power. We had to add a lot of plumbing in there. We're putting in a test kitchen and then extra ADA restrooms. So it's kind of time-lapse photos tonight of the progress on it. We had to put in new sewer lines for the sewer to meet the city standards. Here is a more current picture of it. So as of right now, the painting and everything's done. The heating and air we've got working today and all fired off. The doors are installed, hardware's on, ceiling grid's in. So our plan is to ask for a above ceiling inspection on Friday, and we hope to do flooring the following week and brick on the outside and have Gina moved in about 2 weeks. So
What's great for is he's not telling you, is we're doing it all in-house.
yeah, this is all.
They've done an excellent job.
So that's the start of their kitchen.
Where's that building at?
It is right next door to my office. It used to be the Yale forklift building. It's right to the east of my office. So it's coming along. That's my guys wiring up the main power. That's the exterior. The brick should go on this week if weather holds. But we have made good progress on those two projects. And like I said, the treehouse pantry just started. We're going to try to have it move-in ready July 1st. And then,
I like to laugh.
yeah. Well, Damon wanted it June 1st, so I pushed him off till July 1st. So, and then also at Flintco, they're here today, and WD&D. So on the Rollins Elementary, I mean, you all know we've had weather delays, and now we're having long lead times on equipment. So I had Chad pull some data for you. So we've had 34 total days that have either been rain, sub-zero, or wind where we couldn't really work. We have ordered like the kitchen equipment. The prices were approved and ordered February 25th. We still don't have final delivery dates on part of that. All of that stuff's having longer and longer lead times. So technically they've only had about a little over 4 months of actual build time. A lot of the time was getting permits and stuff. So we're going to focus on Area A to get it completed. We're going to also focus on the cafeteria, the kitchen, the gym, and then part of the office space to complete it ahead of Area B. And so we'll for sure have a building ready to go for kids. So they've already talked to the city of Tontitown for a temporary C of O. If we get to that point, hopefully we don't. But the furniture, it's all ordered, set up to be delivered in 5 rounds. So, I mean, it's going to come together. But I just wanted to get more information to you guys on some of the delays they've been dealing with. They're already working Monday through Saturday, and their guys are all of their subs. They're putting 50 to 60 hours in per week.
What's the delivery time on the furniture? I mean, do we think it's going to push like other things are?
No, Lauren Booth, I met with her on a conference call today. So we'll probably take the first 3 loads of furniture on around August 1st. That'll give us a couple weeks to get it put in place. And then,
That's getting a little close.
well, we can't get it too early because we don't have anywhere to store it. So, and I was talking with Chad. I mean, it may be where we can end up using the cafeteria or part of the gym, and we can go and take delivery early and store it in the gym. And then we just want to be able to protect it. If we store it in the gym, we want to protect it from it getting damaged. So we're going to look at that. Brad was in on the conversation, so that may be a better plan. So we're adjusting our schedules as we can.
Do we feel good about the kitchen stuff getting here, or is it stuck in the Suez Canal somewhere?
The kitchen, most of the kitchen equipment so far, the only lead times that are real long are the walk-in freezer and cooler. They're set to deliver like 3rd week in July, which really is not going to stop us from having school. I mean, we have portable freezers and coolers we can take out there and wire up, so that doesn't worry me too much.
What worries you?
Weather, just we've still got to get it dried in, and they're getting close. So, and I mean, Flintco, we're having issues getting the main power up and running. So they're bringing in temporary units and dehumidifiers because sheetrock's up in A, but you can't really do your final finishes without it being, the humidity being right. So they're bringing in portable units and stuff to get those going until we can get our main power hooked up and our units started.
Forecast doesn't look really great.
The what?
I said the forecast,
Yeah, well, that's why we're kind of going to a plan B on this, just so we'll for sure be ready.
It'll happen.
And it'll be dried in a few more weeks. So.
Thank you.
All right. Thanks.
Do we have an SEA?
Trevor texted me and said that they're having their interview event, so you might not be able to make it.
And do I have any patron comments? Good evening. If you'll just say your name and And
Good
just
evening.
know that we can't make any decisions or do anything tonight, but we'd love to hear from you.
Thank you. Good evening. My name is John Welton. Thank you for giving us the opportunity to be able to speak, Dr. Cleveland. I have one question. Wrote it down that way I don't forget it. And I'd like to caveat off of what the General Counsel was talking about as far as the COVID update. When the 28th of May passes and the mask mandate passed by this board goes into the history books, will the summer school be under any further COVID mandates? There's none.
Correct.
Well, that just alleviated a lot of the other. I'm a 25-year plus military veteran of the Army. I served 16 plus years in the chemical, biological, nuclear, explosives with specialized training in the chemical and biological area. What I've watched over the past 14 months is a farce. And with that being said, the specialized training in the chemical and the biological, what I know, everybody else should know, because it's published by those that are mandating you to mandate the masks. If it continues, if it comes back up, if it rises its head, and this board votes to extend the farce, you will be asked to leave the board, replaced with someone with common sense. That's all I have. Thank you very much.
Dr. Cleveland, if you don't have anything else, then I think our meeting is adjourned.